Good morning and welcome to your daily morning horoscope for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, Aries. Sudden positive developments regarding the family could make a big difference to your future and make the most of it. A family member could have a lucky break of some kind and need your support. You might be in the right place at the right time to meet that right person. These things can be wonderful, but they're fleeting. Take advantage of them now so they won't disappear. Taurus, you might want to leave the office today to finish all these pressing errands. Phone calls could keep you busy, as could small tasks that need tending around the house. At some point, financial paperwork might take up a lot of your time, but the evening shows promise. Expect to receive visitors or make some visits yourself. Gemini, a task that requires a lot of writing might have you discovering a new talent you never knew you had. You might be surprised, but you will want to develop this new skill. It could involve technology in some way, or it could entail working with money. A number of people could confer with you at some point during the day, perhaps asking advice about future business trends. Cancer, a new piece of equipment could be delivered to the workplace and make you feel like you've received a new toy. Resist the temptation to spend the afternoon playing. You should be feeling especially playful right now, so this is a good time to organize or attend to sporting events. Unusual happenings throughout the day could make your head spin, so you will need some fun in the evening. Leo, emotional reunions with family or relatives you haven't seen in a long time could take place today. Some of these might be unplanned and off the wall. You might even meet your 6th grade teacher at the mall, increasing that feeling of warmth and happiness that you've been enjoying lately. An event spent relaxing at home with loved one increases your sense of security. Virgo, a quarrel with a friend might put you in a position to have to lay all your cards on the table and tell him or her exactly how you feel. It isn't always easy to be frank, but today the strength of your sincerity should impress your friend and make your friendship stronger. Your honesty can also prove beneficial when it comes to starting, working forward, or completing long-term goals. Libra, a talent for writing that you haven't tapped may surface today. Perhaps using a computer, particularly one with voice activation, is making it possible. Your imagination is in full swing and your work may be very entertaining if you've been thinking about writing. This is the day to start. It's also a good day to handle paperwork relating to finance. You should breeze through it. Scorpio, you could either be planning or preparing for a long journey by air. Your plans may still need to be confirmed. Today is the perfect day to do this. Spiritual matters might be very much on your mind right now and you might read a lot about such subjects. Don't be surprised if it proves difficult to put them out of your mind. Sagittarius, unexpected social invitations might find you meeting people in the healing professions, doctors, surgeons, nurses, or technicians. You might also rub shoulders with bankers and investment advisors. Take their contact information, they may prove valuable to you later. Financially beneficial news of some kind could come to you today. This is a good time to invest or start a new savings plan. Capricorn, the vast social world of late might have overwhelmed you with new names and faces of all that you want to remember. Today could be a good day to follow up with some of them by phone, postcard, or email. Your charisma and sincerity are likely to have made just as much of an impression on them as they did on you. Just remember, don't be shy. Aquarius, your skills with computers and other forms of technology should be growing rapidly. This will greatly increase your efficiency with these tools and your marketability. Should you be thinking of changing careers or simply be looking for a new position, this would be a good day to get your resume up to date so you can act when you learn of a job that seems right for you. Pisces, you should feel especially strong, motivated, and focused. Your ability to establish yourself in the world is enhanced by increased self-sufficiency. Your goals seem more attainable and you find this encouraging. Relations with others should be warm, congenial, and cooperative. So if you've been thinking of starting some sort of enterprise with others, this is the day to start that planning. This has been your daily morning horoscope for Wednesday, 9th April 2025. Do have yourself a great day.
happy Wednesday. It is our morning show again on DBS, and we are so grateful that you decided to wake up with us for yet another day. Let's see what our news department has. We'll be back.
Good morning. Fired up and unapologetic, Herod Stanislas, the United Workers' Party candidate for Soufrière Force Jacques, has set his sights on reclaiming that seat, accusing incumbent MP Emma Hippolyte of squandering opportunities and stalling critical development in the constituency.
Don't let your hearts be troubled. I am going to be back in a few months' time. Because my flambeau, my setlisi, yo ni pou kriye election sala l'année sala. They have no choice. The flambeau's people are determined more than ever.
Speaking at the UWP's Sunday live broadcast, Stanislas said the people deserve better leadership and vowed to finish what he started, pointing out that several of his once criticized proposals are now being quietly adopted. Taiwan's new ambassador to St. Lucia, Her Excellency Nicole Su, got a boots-on-the-ground look at the impact of Taiwanese funding during a guided tour of Castries on Tuesday.
I'm really, truly impressed by the work that you have been implementing here, the gutter here and the road there. I think this is really important for the improvement of the quality of life, and I appreciate the opportunity for us to make a contribution to work with the minister and the government of St. Lucia.
Led by Castries Central MP and Housing Minister Richard Frederick, the city walkabout showcased a range of completed projects, from upgraded drainage systems to vendor facilities, financed through Taipei's continued partnership with the island. Criminologist and police constable Dr. Montel Felix has been identified for a pivotal new role as Crime Prevention Minister Jeremiah Norbert announces plans to appoint Felix as a research officer at the Crime Prevention Unit.
You would have realized the same problem that I had with the disability unit would have been the same problem that existed with the Crime Prevention Unit, given the same problem, the time of the announcement, that there was not the funding in place to be able to hire anybody during that time. This is why this year we brought in the research officer to work under the Crime Prevention Unit. His job is to do exactly what you mentioned. Look at what already exists. We have a situation whereby we have certain programs are already in existence. However, we really had a spoke in our tire when there was the stop order placed on the USAID funded programs in St. Lucia. And these programs were then, although they work closely with the Ministry of Crime Prevention, when these programs, when the stop order came, it really caused us to now rethink our position. So the research officer is now tasked looking at what these programs were doing, who were the targeted individuals, at what cost will it come to government to continue these programs, because we're not getting the funding from the donor agencies again, like USAID. So at what cost will it come to the government to be able to continue with these programs, and who are the various stakeholders currently involved in the crime prevention efforts, and how can we coordinate on the national, or more or less create like a national coordination unit.
The post will be central to shaping a long-term national policy aimed at tackling crime at its roots. And finally, displaced from the Castries waterfront ahead of the Anchorage grand opening, fish vendors now operating at the Camellia Alexander Fish Vending Market say they're not ready to move again, raising fresh concerns over plans to relocate them to a new facility at the fisheries complex.
And in the place they say they do up there for us, that don't know it's a situation that don't in no condition to be selling fish in. There's you build a building inside of it, they have no contras, no bins, nothing that's empty, and you're going to sell fish inside of that. That making no sense. They want to get rid of us, and they still they're putting nothing in place for us. If you want us to get out of here and do something really in place for people to sell fish, you can't just tell people to come out from there, you have nothing in place for them to sell fish.
If somebody have 5 pounds of fish in a sink, the next person have to wait for the person to finish cleaning 5 pounds of fish. 2 person got clean a 5 or 2 pounds of fish in a sink. That's wrong. That never in good condition for us. We rather there. A cowboy could come then and Bala could sell, Kilo could sell. 1 or 2. You understand? You tell everybody leave your vendors alone. Now you're running behind them. You bring everybody on the roadside.
Yeah, man, rather stay here than going up there in the jailhouse. Look at fish, look at thing there, look at the food market there. Come then take your fish, buy your food and go home. Instead of going right up there in the little dance halls they do there. That have no counter, nothing. Just poles stand up like if it's a dance thing that day.
We have 2 buckets of bala right there. When one finish, we pour in one in another carboy. So I cannot take that problem. That's a big problem for me. And every day I pay money up and down Canaries. I working. Look, the whole morning I there. I pay bus. I have breakfast. I make $1 yet. I'm serious, I swear.
During a pre-cabinet briefing on Monday, the 20th of January this year, Minister of Housing and Cashew Central MP Richard Frederick stated that the vendors would move to the new facility at the complex in early February. However, the facility remains closed at this point. And that's your news summary. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
Thank you, News Department. Let's take a short break and come right back. The inaugural Micoud Jazz is on, and the chairperson spoke with us of some of the things that we could get excited about for that date. I think it's the 27th. Let's take a listen. This lady wears many hats, and she does it so eloquently. This time, she's in the capacity of the chairperson of the Micoud Jazz Committee. Pause. Yeah, that's right. You have not heard that before, because this is the first time that Micoud is actually putting on their own jazz in their community, and the excitement is on. Flyer has been out, and let me tell you, I say, what? Let me pull in Louis, because when I see the flyer, I say, Sanchez, oh my God, what a wonderful stroke. Louis, congratulations on that post, but also let us talk to things, because wow.
Yes, Maureen. The inaugural Micoud Jazz, well, Jazz of Viege, the Micoud experience. We decided to brand the event around the location, our breathtaking peninsula, the longest peninsula in St. Lucia on the East Coast, happens to be right there in Micoud. It's a magical venue. I mean, you get there and it's like a haven.
Yeah.
It's so calming. The Atlantic Ocean as the backdrop, the breeze just going through your white, because it's an all-white affair. We're praying for lovely weather on the day, and we think as a community we're blessed that we will have that. And there's a lot of buzz, as you said. The community is really, really excited about it. And as a committee, for the first time, we are really looking forward to delivering at a high standard, as well as, in alignment with what the mother festival is, St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. We want to ensure that we leave no stones unturned, and really just deliver at a good level and at a solid quality in how we deliver the event.
Right. Well, we've seen the lineup, and we see the headliner, of course, Sanchez. I mean, that goes without saying. Sanchez by himself is a whole event. A perfect event at that. But, I am curious. Micoud, we always hear about Micoud and its richness. The people is one of the most celebrated aspects of Micoud. The cultural groundedness of the area as well, the community. What can we expect in not just the music and performance, but how it is that, you guys... I'm really, listen, I'm excited about how it is that you guys are going to, bring it all together. And I know you're big on that.
Yes, for sure. When in conceptualizing it, we wanted Micoudians to feel like the custodians of the event. And so we had to find the balance in how we feature talent. And the truth is, there are other acts that we would have loved to have had on. But, you have to manage a very tight show, and we hope that for some of the acts. In fact, we had already communicated for some of those we were not able to fit in this year. We're going to do it in 2026. And so while we do have the international act in Sanchez, we also have some of our local talent in the person of Teddy St. John and the TJ Project. But when you come more specifically to the South, or Micoud specifically, we have quite the cast. We have Heart and Soul, which is a southern choral group. It's all female, and it's actually led by Miss Priscilla Lucien, the mother of Shan Lucien. So say less. Wonderful vocalists all around, and we have no doubt that their set will be something to transcend you before and really build up some of the acts that will follow. We also have Invasion Band and some of their acts, you know, Deshaun as the lead singer, he's a southern boy. But on Invasion, we are going to feature some of our community or constituency acts if you want. We have Shane Ross. Shane Ross is Mamai Mopo, and so Shane Ross is on there. We also have Jane Johnson. She is a young lady from Micoud. She's been featured on the Youth Fest stage. An incredible vocalist as well, you know, been in the Micoud church and whatnot. So that's also something to look forward to. We also have Sheffield Maxwell, who is on Kingdom Night. Many may not know, but he is a child of Micoud and a Micoud talent, homegrown. And we also have the man himself, General Biggs. And so it's interesting to have those two talents on there because they're both actually featuring on the national stage. Scheffler for Kingdom Night and General Biggs for opening night. And we also have the other artistic elements. There is a budding youth troupe in Micoud. So it's called the Micoud Youth Dance Academy. So they will also do their piece. We have artisans in Micoud, and so we do want that artistic element of the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival to feature. So we do have an area for arts and crafts, and we're looking forward to some of the elements. You know, it may not be overtly art, but there are artistic ways that you can bring, you can highlight or feature that component. So we're also getting quite creative there as well, making it a bit experiential for patrons, in as much as, yes, you come to the venue, it's lovely, and the concert will be happening. So the date is Sunday, April 27th. There's nothing else happening at that time, so you have no excuse not to be in Micoud for the inaugural event. Tickets are only $60 advance, and that is up until April 12th. Okay. Tickets are available on fourcircletickets.com, as well as the sell outlets, as well as the night service station, formerly Sadu gas station on the Micoud Highway. We will also be announcing an outlet in Monrepo soon. But you can look out for that on our Facebook page. And thereafter, tickets are only $75 for that type of cast for Sanchez. And kids accompanied by a parent are absolutely free.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, guys, I don't know about you, but you see the 27th. If you're looking for me, I think you know where to find me. I'm a Sanchez girl. Well done, guys. You and your community, well done to Louise and the community, and we look forward to it.
Thank you, Maureen. We do want to say a really big thank you to the St. Lucia Tourism Authority for their support as well in helping us land that Bean Act. Also, our platinum sponsor, First National Bank, has come on board, and we're really grateful to them for planting the seed with us. It is a massive undertaking, but we're grateful for all of our partners who have come on board and will come on board if you see this interview.
Absolutely. They will. Absolutely. And that's a wrap for us until the 27th. We'll see you guys in Micoud. Well, our next two segments, viewers, is going to be very, very significant because we have started a new process with Dr. Tanya Bobra. And she's going to be taking us through some of the things that she practiced at her space, Satya being one of them. She's not just doing medical treatments no more, but she's now taking a holistic approach to healing when it comes to her patients. So here is the start to what is to become a weekly series with us, with Tanya.
Welcome to your holistic path to wellness with Dr. Tanya Bobran.
The infamous bubbles, of course, the lovely, the awesome, the amazing bubbles. And of course, we're here at the Satya Sanction. I like to call it that because when you step into this room, it's absolutely just calming. It's healing. It's therapeutic. Everything you can think about that just gets you, yeah, in that serene sort of state. It happens here from the time you open this door. Doc, how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to have you here.
Absolutely. Well, you know that's the place. We need to come here often when we need to get ourselves healed. But we would like to just delve into some of the things that actually happens here at Satya, to make the correlation between your new, or should I say new, or you've taken on a new approach.
A new approach. So
Right.
really, this is the Satya Center for Functional and Integrative Medicine. And functional medicine is root cause medicine. It is personalized, it is patient-centered. We really look at you before we look at the disease process. We look at why you get the disease. And that is the beauty of functional medicine. I have used it for myself, to heal myself. And when I realized how great it was, I knew I had to just delve into it. And I ended up doing the advanced fellowship in functional, regenerative, anti-aging, and metabolic medicine. And it just opened up so much for me, where I started to look at everything differently. How I approach a patient, how I approach an imbalance, how I approach their labs, how I approach their treatment protocol, because it's not just about the physical symptoms, it's also about their emotional life, their mental issues, if they have any, their spiritual life, and not from a religious perspective, but when I talk about spiritual, I talk about the connections. So the More Joy method, which is the basis of what I do, was birthed from my journey.
Right.
My journey as a doctor, as a wife, as a mother, as a patient, as a woman.
Right.
And I wanted to create a space that I wish I had when I burnt out years ago.
Oh, that's the word I was looking for. You talk a lot about burnout. Now, your initial studies would have been the scientific route.
Yes.
Right. But then you had an encounter that made you realize that
there was more.
There was more. And that's where the curiosity
the greatest
started.
blessing was me being on the other end of a stethoscope and realizing that everybody was looking at the disease process. That's how we'd all been trained. And I felt that we had to look at the patient first. Yes, we had a disease process, and it manifests in different ways in different people. But if we leave the patient behind, we're not truly healing them. A prescription will cure you.
Yeah.
But then you may not be healed. You'll come back again and again with a different set of problems, or with you need more medication of a different type. So I realized that when I was the patient, I wanted somebody to see me, and I wanted to be in a safe space where I felt that I was truly held and allowed to heal properly. So this whole thing was created from this. This was like my gift to myself, in a sense, that I wish I had years ago.
Right.
And I didn't know I had burnt out. I didn't know about it. It's called, in functional medicine, we call it HPA axis dysfunction or adrenal fatigue. I didn't know about that. And it was by a series of synchronicities that when I searched for everything, I had all the tests done. And the frustrating thing with burnout is that you will think your labs will be normal. So there's nothing overtly
to indicate
what's wrong.
But you're not well.
You're not well. You're not functioning well. You have brain fog. You're anxious. You're not sleeping, but you can't figure out what's going on. You've looked at everything, and all the tests are normal.
Right.
And nobody has an answer for you. And it wasn't until I remembered that I had gone to a conference and I had picked up this kit. And by the grace of God, there was this kit in my office. And I did the test, sent it off. And you know when people say, I'm so happy I found something?
Right.
Because you start to wonder, is it in your head? What's going on with you? Everybody's telling you that you're normal, your labs are normal, your physical exam is normal. You start to wonder, what's going on? Is it in my head? And when I got those results and I saw what happened, I'm like, oh, great, I have an answer. So I knew what was wrong, but I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't know how to fix it because we didn't learn about that. We didn't have it. And of course, the normal thing would have been given a prescription, but I wasn't depressed. So an antidepressant would not have worked. So by another synchronicity, I found a doctor who was practicing functional medicine. And I went to her and I sat down and I gave her my labs and I said, I've burnt out. And she looked at me and she says, oh, honey, it happens, it happened to me 4 years ago and I started to cry. I truly felt seen and understood because there was another doctor it had happened to.
Right.
And it happens to so many professionals. We're not even aware that, you're not even aware that you're burnt out. You just think something is wrong and you push through. And she then gave me the protocols and I said, where did you learn that? And she started to talk about functional medicine training. And then everything that worked out was meant to be, because when I decided to go and do it and actually do the fellowship program, I found this place that did it, and it was the A4M Academy. And it happened to be 5 minutes from where my son was going to school in the US. And I had passed that route several times. I had seen the sign, I just didn't know what it was. And I've heard of this, but it didn't click. And my first meeting was with a lady and she says, let's meet somewhere. And I said, no, I'm staying at a hotel because I've come for a conference or whatever. The hotel was across the road from her office. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I signed up, full on, I'm going to do this in a year. She says, you're bright, you can do this. And I'm like, how do you know I'm bright, But she says you could do this. What turned out to be 1 year's program ended up 3 years, where I ended up doing a degree in alternative medicine as well. So after the fellowship program, I wanted to know more. And I said, there's so much you can do with complementary therapies. I wanted to learn about homeopathy and naturopathy, about Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, chiropractic, because you hear about these things, but I wanted to learn what it was about. So during that program, during the degree, I learned about everything. And I remember a lot of my professors at the university saying, why are you here? You've already done medicine. You're doing this back to front. And I said, but I truly want to be here. So you understand that I'm learning this with such joy, because I'm so excited to learn about these things, because I've learned Western medicine. I want to learn about the others, and I want to see how we can blend them, because I believe that they should be blended. And only to learn that these things had predated Western medicine for thousands and thousands of years. Before Western medicine, the royal family only used homeopathy. To this day, their go-to will be homeopathy. And learning about these things sort of just expanded my view on medicine and healing, and all the tools that we could use to meet a patient where they are and create a unique healing, I call it a recipe for each patient.
All right.
And that is the beauty of functional and integrative medicine. Each person is treated individually. Each person has a unique genetic pattern. They have life experiences. They've had family history. They've had so many other things that may or usually will contribute to their disease process or imbalances that they have.
Right.
And then when we look at the labs, we look at it, we based on optimized levels, not just is out of range, but is it too close to the lower limit or upper limit, which tells you that this person is coming for something.
Right.
So if, for instance, last year your blood sugar was 88, this year it's 92, then potentially next year you could be 100 and something, which puts you in a pre-diabetic range. So what we try to do, we see a pattern and we say, okay, let's make lifestyle changes to avoid you getting into a disease state.
Right.
So that's the beauty of this.
Let's run through the spreadsheet now of what it is you cover here at Satya that works in alignment with this.
It's so varied, Maureen, that you come in, we do an in-depth history. And the history is a little different. You know, I think you've done one where people say like it's an exam, but you'd be amazed at this in-depth history, what I get from birth history to lifestyle to environmental to work history, because even you've been exposed at work to certain things, and not until 10 years later will it show up. So the history is important. Taking time to listen to you, giving you the safe space where you can actually feel free to tell me your story. Tell me why you're here, what brings you here. Give me your full story. I have time, I will listen. We're not rushing you through the normal visit. And then we do the clinical exam, which is the usual clinical exam, but you're given the time. You know, you're not rushing through. You'll be surprised that sometimes you go to a doctor's visit, and as you're leaving, you remember something. Because you're rushing out, and say, as you reach the door, you say, oh shucks, I forgot to tell the doctor that. It happens here too. But then we say, okay, let's go through that, and then we'll try and work throughout. So we do the normal thing, just takes longer and more in-depth. How we look at the labs, as I said, is different. We do sometimes a little more labs. We sometimes do genetic testing. We focus on gut health testing, food sensitivity testing, hormones, hormonal imbalances. And it's not just about estrogen and progesterone. We look at insulin and vitamin D, which is a pro-hormone, your in-depth thyroid testing. Just a whole gamut of testing, but the way we look at it allows us to put it into, get a pattern or solve a puzzle that you may not even realize that there's a puzzle there. And then we put it into a report. So that report, that I go through with you, gives you a true understanding of what is happening to your body. It's not just here are your results. The explanation is given to you, so you have a better understanding of your body and how it's working. And I think once you are educated and you have an understanding of what's happening to your body, you are more motivated to make the changes. You're more motivated to do the lifestyle changes. You're more motivated if we have to give you medication. And I want to just stick a point here that functional integrative medicine is not anti-Western medicine. It's a blend.
It's a blend.
So if I have to prescribe you antibiotics or medication for cholesterol or something, I will do it. So it's not one or the other. It's what does this patient need now to get to optimize health. And it's a journey. And I feel that all I am is a partner on this, because the person doing the work is you. I am giving you the information. You are taking the action, because I can't take the action for you. And through the combination of information and action, your true transformation will take place.
I like this. I absolutely love this. We are going to be on a journey for the next coming weeks right here. You need to stay tuned and stay locked in.
Wonderful, guys. Well, that is our show for today, and I hope you enjoyed it and you're inspired in some way, form, or fashion. Let's do it again tomorrow for another TBS This Morning, but it's Wednesday, it's hump day. Go on out and have an awesome day today, and be good and kind to yourself and to others. Until tomorrow.